Have you ever felt that something was wrong with your body, but every medical test came back normal? You're told, everything looks fine. Your blood work is normal. There's nothing to worry about. But inside, you don't feel reassured because your body still doesn't feel right. As a medical doctor, I want you to hear this clearly. Your body often knows there is a problem long before medicine can measure it. Most diseases do not start suddenly. They develop slowly, quietly, over time. Before something becomes visible on a scan or a blood test, your body adapts. It compensates. It struggles silently. In this video, I'm going to explain how your body communicates early warning signs, why doctors can miss them at first, and how to listen to your body without fear or panic. This is not about diagnosing yourself. It's about understanding your body's language before it has to shout. One of the biggest misconceptions in healthcare is believing that tests always detect early disease. In reality, most tests are designed to diagnose disease once it is already established. Before that happens, the body compensates. Your pancreas produces more insulin. Your adrenal glands release more stress hormones. Your immune system stays quietly activated. Your nervous system remains on high alert. During this phase, numbers can stay within the normal range, but normal does not always mean optimal. Symptoms are often the earliest indicators that the body is under strain. Medicine is excellent at treating disease, but early dysfunction often lives in symptoms, not lab results. That's why listening to how you feel is not weakness, it's awareness. One of the most common early signals is persistent fatigue, not tiredness after a busy day, but exhaustion that feels disproportionate to your life. You sleep, but you wake up unrefreshed. Small tasks feel heavy. Your energy no longer returns like it used to. This type of fatigue often appears before diagnoses like thyroid dysfunction, insulin resistance, autoimmune disease, or chronic inflammation. Your body is spending extra energy just to keep balance. Fatigue is not laziness. It's a message. When rest no longer restores you, your body is telling you it's working harder than it should. Another powerful early signal is brain fog. People often say, "I don't feel like myself anymore." You may struggle to focus, forget things easily, feel mentally slow or overwhelmed. The brain is extremely sensitive to blood sugar fluctuations, inflammation, hormonal shifts, sleep quality, and stress. When something in the body is off balance, the brain often reacts first. This is why cognitive symptoms can appear long before a diagnosis. Brain fog is not imaginary. It is often the brain asking for stability. Sleep is one of the clearest mirrors of health. Difficulty falling asleep, waking up at the same time every night, feeling wired but exhausted. These changes often appear before anxiety disorders, metabolic problems, hormonal transitions, or depression are diagnosed. Sleep is when your body repairs itself. When sleep becomes fragmented, it often means repair processes are being interrupted. Your nervous system is struggling to switch off. Sleep disturbances are rarely random. They are often early warning signs. Digestive symptoms are another early signal many people dismiss. Bloating, gas, changes in bowel habits, discomfort after meals, sudden food sensitivities. The gut is deeply connected to your immune system, hormones, and nervous system. When digestion changes without a clear cause, it often reflects stress, inflammation, or metabolic imbalance. Your gut reacts quickly to internal stress. Digestive changes are not just about food, they are about the whole body. Weight changes can be one of the most confusing early signals because they often happen without a clear reason. You may notice weight gain even though your eating habits haven't changed. You may be eating the same foods, the same portions, following the same routine, and yet the scale slowly creeps up. Others experience the opposite. They lose weight without trying, without dieting, without exercising more. And sometimes the number on the scale doesn't change much at all, but body shape does. Fat begins to appear in new areas, around the abdomen, around the hips, in the face, neck, or upper back. Clothes fit differently. Your body feels unfamiliar. These changes are confusing because they don't follow the usual rules people expect. And that's because they're often not driven by calories alone. They are driven by hormones. Insulin resistance plays a major role in how and where the body stores fat. When insulin levels are high, the body is pushed towards storage rather than fat burning. At the same time, other systems may also be involved. Thyroid function influences how fast or slow the body uses energy. Chronic stress raises cortisol, which changes fat distribution and muscle mass. Sleep disruption, inflammation, and blood sugar swings all feed into this process. The result is a shift in body composition, more fat, less lean tissue, or fat being stored in places it wasn't before. What's important to understand is that these changes often occur before lab values shift. Blood tests may still look normal. Glucose may be normal. Thyroid numbers may be within range, But the body is already adapting to internal stress. This is not your body failing. This is your body trying to protect you. It's adjusting metabolism, energy use, and storage in response to signals it's receiving. Signals like insulin resistance, signals like chronic stress, signals like hormonal imbalance. That's why unexplained weight gain or loss should not be dismissed, and it should not be met with self-blame. This is not about laziness. It's not about lack of discipline. It's about physiology. Your body shape can change before your blood work does, and those changes are often early clues that something deeper is happening. Listening to those signals early allows you to respond, instead of waiting until numbers finally catch up. Because when you understand that these changes are adaptive, not personal failures, you can take steps that actually address the root cause. And that can make all the difference. Mood changes are often misunderstood. When people experience changes in mood, they're quick to assume something is wrong psychologically. They blame stress, they blame personality, they blame life circumstances, but mood shifts don't always start in the mind. Low mood, anxiety, irritability, a loss of motivation or emotional flatness. These experiences are not always psychological problems. They can be biological signals. Your brain is an organ just like the rest of your body, and it is deeply affected by what's happening physically. Inflammation plays a powerful role in brain chemistry. When inflammation is elevated, neurotransmitters that regulate mood and motivation can be disrupted. Blood sugar instability also affects how the brain functions. Rapid rises and falls in glucose can trigger anxiety, irritability, and emotional crashes. Hormone changes add another layer. Insulin, cortisol, thyroid hormones, and sex hormones all influence mood regulation. When these systems are out of balance, emotional stability can suffer. Nutrient deficiencies can contribute as well. The brain requires adequate levels of nutrients like magnesium, iron, B vitamins, and omega-3 fatty acids to function properly. When fuel or nutrients are lacking, mood can shift. What makes this confusing is that these changes often happen gradually. There may be no clear emotional trigger, nothing dramatic happens in life, and yet mood slowly changes. You may feel less resilient, more reactive, less motivated, less like yourself. Because these symptoms don't fit the stereotype of a physical illness, they're often dismissed. People are told to relax, to think positive, to push through it. But when mood shifts appear without a clear emotional cause, it's important to look deeper. Your body may be sending a biological message. This doesn't mean emotions aren't real. It means they may have a physical driver. Addressing blood sugar regulation, inflammation, hormones, sleep, and nutrition can dramatically improve emotional well-being. In many cases, mood improves not because someone tried harder mentally, but because the body regained balance. So if you notice persistent mood changes that don't match your circumstances, if anxiety, low mood, or irritability feel out of proportion or unexplained, don't assume it's just in your head. Your brain chemistry is deeply connected to your physical health, and listening to those signals can be the first step toward real, lasting improvement. Signals. 7-9 Small signs that repeat. Your body also communicates through small, repeated signals. These are the symptoms that are easy to dismiss, easy to normalize, easy to explain away. Frequent headaches, muscle aches that come and go, joint stiffness, especially in the morning or after sitting still, slow healing from small cuts or minor injuries, changes in skin, hair, or nails, getting sick more often than you used to, catching every cold, taking longer to recover. Each one of these symptoms, on its own, may seem insignificant. A headache can be blamed on stress, muscle aches can be blamed on aging, joint stiffness can be blamed on posture, getting sick can be blamed on bad luck. And because each symptom has a reasonable explanation, they're often ignored, but the body doesn't always shout. Very often, it repeats itself. The same symptoms return, again and again. That's where meaning begins. Patterns matter more than isolated events. When small symptoms persist, when they repeat regularly, when several of them appear together, your body is not being random. It's communicating. Low-grade inflammation can show up as aches and stiffness. Blood sugar instability can affect healing and immunity. Hormonal imbalance can influence joints, hair, and energy. Insulin resistance can quietly affect multiple systems at once, just not severely enough to trigger alarm bells yet. This is why these signs are missed. They're subtle, they're spread out, they don't feel urgent. But taken together, they tell a story. And that story is that the body is under stress, trying to adapt, trying to maintain balance. These are not failures, they are signals. The body whispers first. It uses small symptoms, repeated nudges, gentle warnings. Only when those whispers are ignored does the body escalate to louder signals, stronger symptoms, bigger problems. Listening early changes the outcome. If you notice the same small issues showing up again and again, if multiple minor symptoms seem to cluster together, pause. Pay attention. Your body may be asking to be listened to, not with fear, not with urgency, but with awareness. Because the body always speaks before it breaks. The question is whether we're listening when it whispers. If you feel something is wrong, but your tests are normal, do not ignore that instinct. That inner sense that something isn't quite right matters. It doesn't mean you're imagining things, and it doesn't mean you are seriously ill. It means your body is communicating early. Modern medicine is very good at diagnosing disease, but early dysfunction often happens before disease shows up on lab work. That early phase is where symptoms live, and that phase is incredibly important because early dysfunction is often reversible. At this stage, the body is still adapting, still compensating, still trying to restore balance. That's not a failure, that's intelligence. So the goal is not panic, the goal is awareness. The first step is to pay attention to patterns, not one symptom on one bad day, but repeated signals over time. Energy changes, mood shifts, hunger patterns, sleep quality, body changes, healing time. When you step back and look at patterns, the message becomes clearer. The next step is to support the foundations. Sleep is not optional. Poor sleep worsens insulin resistance, inflammation, mood, and hormone balance. Nutrition matters, not restriction, but nourishment. Stable meals that support blood sugar, adequate protein, micronutrients your brain and immune system need. Movement matters, not punishment, but consistency. Regular movement improves insulin sensitivity, circulation, and stress regulation. And stress regulation matters more than most people realize. Chronic stress is not just emotional, it's biological. It alters hormones, blood sugar, immune function, and recovery. You don't have to fix everything at once. Small changes done consistently are powerful. Another important step is learning to advocate for yourself calmly. You don't need to fight your doctor. You don't need to argue or demand. You can ask better questions. You can share patterns instead of isolated symptoms. You can say, I know my labs are normal, but my body feels different. That is not confrontation. That is collaboration. The goal is to work with your doctor, not against them. Medicine works best when patients and clinicians are on the same team. You bring lived experience. They bring clinical expertise. Together, you see the full picture. And remember this. Your body is intelligent. It constantly gathers information. It adjusts. It compensates. It communicates. It whispers before it screams. Listening early does not mean assuming the worst. It means respecting your biology. It means responding before problems become harder to reverse. If this video helped you understand your body better, please like and subscribe for more doctor-led health education. Education is empowerment. Understanding changes outcomes. And remember, your body often knows before doctors do.